1, ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like you to take a moment and use your imagination. Picture yourself at a desk, pen in your hand, and you have just been asked to write a poem. Any kind of poem, any way you want. And your inner voice tells you to be creative. Actually, we can do this right now, right here. You have received a note block on your chair when you arrived here, right? Take it out, write me a poem. Any kind of poem, but be creative, huh? I want original poems. Go on. Okay, time's up, guys. What I want you to do is, regardless whether you have finished your poem or not, take the first sheet out of your note block and rip it out, make it into a ball, and aim for the red dot, huh? Further, further, further. Go, 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 go. Yes, yes, yes. Brilliant. Excellent. Very good, very good. Thank you. Well, it was an easy task, I guess, huh? Yeah, you were a bit time-pressed maybe, but anybody can write a poem. Let's see how you have done. Empty sheet. Well, let me see another one. Yeah, not even one word. Was it hard to unlock your creativity? Actually, this is one of the hardest tasks that I could give you. And I will explain in a few moments why that is so. First, I would like to tell you a bit about myself. When I started in my current job, my first task was to design an online course at bachelor level. And I was told that normally it takes 3 years to design such a course. However, my course had to be finished and running for students within 8 months. No 3 years for me, 8 months was all that I got. And I got a small budget and a daunting list of requirements that the course should fulfill. Now, strangely enough, this task did not overwhelm me. On the contrary, it invigorated me. All kinds of ideas came to mind about how to approach this challenge and how to make sure to make the deadline. I would make 100% sure that this would be the most fantastic course ever. I would show them what I was capable of. Now, what happened here? I was confronted with severe constraints. I had a limited time, restricted budget, and specific requirements. And they fired me up. Constraints made me push beyond my limits. I had to make the best use of available resources, and I had to stick my neck out and try something that I hadn't done before. Now, did I succeed? I will tell you later. But let's get back to our poetry experiment. This was one, well, you gave me empty sheets. Huh? Actually, I sort of expected this. I'm not surprised. It is very hard to be confronted with such an open-ended task. No constraints, no rules to adhere to. In fact, you might have felt paralyzed and not be able to come up with anything. Now, why is this so? It turns out that creative imagination works best under explicitly understood constraints. Research has shown that explicit constraints force people away from existing solutions and known paths. And this generates more imaginative, more ingenious results. In fact, constraints enable you to come up with a creative solution. They force you to take a step back and adopt another perspective. And an excellent illustration of this effect is poetry. In the experiment, you experienced complete freedom. Poets do not have to adhere to explicit rules of syntax and grammar. They are completely free in making their own lines. And yet, they frustrate themselves with adopting strict form requirements, as for instance, the intricate rhyme scheme of a sonnet. Now, why do they do that? Why do they make it so hard on themselves? Constraints help them. They stimulate their creativity and their imagination. And they force them to come up with original lines and stay away from cliches. Constraints challenge your thinking and boost creativity. But now, another example. Picture yourself at work. You have just thought of this ingenious idea to improve the quality of the products that your firm is making. So you go to your boss and you ask for a small budget and some time to work out this idea. And the answer of your boss is clear. He is very happy that you show initiative. However, you get only half the money you need, and the exploring has to be done in your own time, on top of all the things that you are doing already. Now, does he stimulate and facilitate your creativity by raising these constraints? No, he does not. Now, what is going on? On the one hand, you see that constraints stimulate creativity. They challenge you and boost your imagination. On the other hand, we see that constraints suppress creativity. They hinder you in carrying out your ideas. How is that possible? Well, I will tell you today a new perspective on creativity that may shed some light on this mystery. We designed a study, and we asked employees of a large company to self-rate their creativity and the amount of constraints that they were experiencing at work. And what we found was striking. We found that constraints make people feel very creative. However, these same constraints prevent people from being creative, from acting creatively. Constraints prevent people from exploiting their creativity. Now, why do you feel creative under constraints and do not exploit your creativity? It is so that in organizations that do not put your you can feel very creative when ideas are not put to the test. In such an organization, you can maintain your self-image of feeling very creative. And what's more, ideas of co-workers are not put to the test either. So you cannot benchmark yourself and your ideas. Unless ideas are put to the test, you can maintain a self-image of being the unsupported, frustrated, undervalued, super creative. And you would be right. You are unsupported. You are discouraged to try out your ideas. Now, why aren't ideas put to the test? Even though leaders set creativity as an important goal, more often than not, creative ideas are routinely rejected because they are seen as being too radically new and therefore too risky. The initial reaction of managers to creative ideas is often negative and judgmental. And this is so because people are simply pre-wired, neurologically pre-wired, to be risk-averse and to avoid loss. In our study, we found that as soon as resources become available, opportunities to be creative, to act creatively, go up, and ideas are put to the test. Now, why does this matter? For organizations, it is of paramount importance to test ideas and to find out what works and what does not. Because ideas will lead to inventions and to innovations. Times are changing, and organizational creativity is essential for firms to adapt to these changing times. So, test ideas and find out what works and what does not. And don't be discouraged by failure, because failing ideas provide valuable information about the direction in which solutions can be found. In fact, this is what learning organizations do. As an organization, you must want ideas to fail, because failing ideas lead to ideas that do work. As an employee, you must want ideas to fail as well, because it means that your idea got a chance. It means that your organization valued you enough to invest in your thoughts. Now, knowing all this, hearing all this, what can you do? As a leader, you can stimulate idea generation and exploration of employees and be aware of your own risk aversion. This means that you can articulate organizational values, such as being open to creative ideas, being unjudgmental. So challenge your coworkers and your employees and back up occasional failures. Celebrate and award intelligent failures that lead to new ideas and to new insights. Now, as an employee, what can you do? Well, leaders, remember, you are employees as well. You have to do all. As an employee, you can utter your thoughts and your ideas. And don't let people hold you back. People who think that's possible should not be influenced by people who think otherwise. So believe in your ideas, put them to the test, and don't be discouraged by failure. Because failure shows you the way to further improvements and to solutions. I firmly believe that together, leaders and employees can unlock the creative potential that is already there. Thank you for your attention. And about the course? Well, it was a big success, but that's another talk. Bye.
3, 2, 1, ready.